Hey, my name is Maxim Ivanov, and let's discuss pull requests. First of all, does your company use pull requests? If not, I think you have to fix it. Because I also worked in lots of companies that did not use pull requests. The main reason for it was that it takes too much time. We don't have time to do pull requests. But the thing is that they didn't consider all the benefit they get from pull requests then when they estimated can they afford this. Because usually when you think of pull requests and peer reviews, you probably think about having another pair of eyes looking at your code and preventing bugs that you could introduce in your code base. But that's not only about this. This is also the best way to communicate about code. This is the best way to keep your team up to date with your code base. And the worst thing you can do is to not do pull requests, actually. But to be effective, pull requests have to be specific. And by specific, I mean small, so you could easily review them. They should have small scope, therefore they have to be small itself. There are basically two ways to do this. First is to plan ahead and have really small tasks, so you will easily create small pull requests and merge them to master as soon as possible. You create one, you do the work, you review it, you merge it to master. Another way to do this is to have feature branch. If you are unable or you don't want to separate your task to smaller ones, or there is just no way to do this, then you can have long-running feature branch from which you will branch off to create smaller pull requests. Basically do the same as you would do with in the first case, but in a separate feature. And when all the pull requests are reviewed and merged to this feature branch, you finally squash everything and merge it at once to a master. Also nice way to go. And there is a very wrong way to go when you have a huge pull request. And I want to tell you a story that happened to me with this kind of pull requests. I was working on a big task, and initially I started it like the second variant, where you would create a long-running feature branch and then branch off of it to create smaller pull requests. It worked for me for a while, but then for some reason I just stopped paying much of attention to do this, and inevitably it ended up like having a lot of commits in one pull request, lots of code, and it was just impossible to review. When the task was done, it was 2,000 of lines of code, like 50 or something files, changed files, and even though the team wanted to review it and they actually tried to do this, there was so small amount of comments on this pull request that I was really concerned about the quality of that reviews. So I had to find a way to fix this. And the way to fix it is basically break the pull request down in smaller ones. There is a nice article by Grayson Kunz from Uber where he describes this technique precisely. You can read it, I will leave the link below. Also, I wrote an article about this with a few updates from me, like few specific things that I had to do. Like I had, for example, to use not only git add p, git add patch to add let's talk a bit about this technique. So basically how you do this, you create another branch, copy all the changes from your kind of huge fucked up pull request to it, and then you unstage everything and start adding changes gradually to pull requests, one on top of another, and you get nice stack of pull requests in the end, which when you get all of them commented, you merge them down from last to first. And actually here's the thing, you can merge them in any order now, because GitHub now supports changing the base pull request. So this is very cool. And yes, then you merge it down to first one, squash all the commits, and merge it to master. This is it. And I have some tricks in article where, for example, if you need to add not a whole file, you have a big file that is very complex, like maybe it's a model with lots of attributes and there is a spec for this model which is also huge, and you want to break it down in smaller logical chunks, then you could use git add capital N to say Git that, hey, this file exists, but don't add any contents yet. And then you can use Git patch on it. But actually I have another video about this. You can watch it. I will probably add it to a playlist. This is it. This is what I wanted to share, that you basically want to keep your pull requests nice and small. If you don't, if you end up with huge ones, break them down. Here you go. Have a nice day, weekend, I don't know. Bye.